You have probably seen the postcards and scrolled through the endless photos online of America's greatest lakes. Think of Crater Lake in Oregon, a place of dramatic, almost mythical beauty. But what if I told you there was another lake? A place that holds its own among these giants, yet remains a quiet whisper. It is a secret held close by the dense, evergreen forests of the Pacific Northwest. What if there was a lake that could rival the beauty of Tahoe and the drama of Crater Lake, but offered a sense of peace and solitude that is increasingly hard to find? Prepare to be let in on one of America's best-kept secrets. This is Lake Crescent. Tucked away in the northern reaches of Washington State's magnificent Olympic National Park, this is the lake you have probably never heard of, but it is one you will never forget. It is a long, deep, crescent-shaped body of water, carved out by ancient glaciers thousands of years ago. The lake shimmers with an impossible shade of turquoise, a color so vibrant it seems to glow from within. This is not just another pretty spot. It is a place with a soul, a history, and a powerful, calming presence that you can feel the moment you arrive. Forget the bustling crowds and the fight for parking spots. Here, the only traffic jams are caused by a family of deer crossing the road. The soundtrack is not the chatter of 1,000 tourists, but the gentle lapping of water against the shore and the call of a bald eagle soaring high overhead. Lake Crescent offers a different kind of travel experience. It is an invitation to slow down, to breathe deeply, and to connect with nature on a much more intimate level. It is a chance to paddle across still, silent water and see the reflection of the surrounding mountains perfectly mirrored on its surface. This lake is a paradox. It is grand in scale, plunging to depths of over 600 feet, making it one of the deepest lakes in Washington. Yet it feels incredibly personal and secluded. Its waters are famously clear, with visibility often reaching down 60 feet or more, a result of a lack of nitrogen which inhibits the growth of algae. This scientific fact translates into a purely magical experience for anyone who dips a paddle or gazes into its depths. It is a world of submerged forests and mysterious deep blue drop-offs, all visible from the surface. So how has a place this stunning managed to stay off the beaten path for so long? How has it avoided the spotlight that shines so brightly on other natural wonders? That is part of its story, part of its charm. For years, it has been cherished by locals and those few lucky travelers who stumbled upon it. But secrets like this do not last forever. Join us as we explore this hidden jewel. We will uncover its stories, hike its trails, and show you why Lake Crescent just might be the most beautiful lake in the United States you have never heard of. To truly understand Lake Crescent, we have to travel back in time, not just a few decades, but thousands of years to the last ice age. This entire landscape, now so green and full of life, was once buried under immense sheets of ice. Massive glaciers, rivers of frozen water, slowly but powerfully pushed their way through these valleys. They were unstoppable forces of nature, sculpting the very earth beneath them. The incredible weight and grinding motion of the ice carved out deep troughs, scraped away rock, and reshaped the mountains. What we see today is the direct result of that ancient frozen artistry. This incredible process of glaciation is what gave birth to Lake Crescent. As the climate warmed and the glaciers began to retreat, they left behind a massive U-shaped valley. Meltwater from the receding ice filled this enormous basin, creating a single, large lake in what is now the Indian Creek Valley. For a time, this larger body of water existed, a testament to the sheer volume of ice that once dominated this region. It's hard to imagine the scale of it all standing here today, but the evidence is all around us, in the steepness of the valley walls and the profound depth of the lake itself. Then, something dramatic happened. A massive landslide, triggered by the unstable, newly exposed earth, came crashing down from the mountainside. This was not a small event. It was a cataclysmic shift in the landscape. An entire flank of Mount Storm King collapsed, sending millions of tons of rock and debris tumbling into the valley below. This natural dam effectively split the large glacial lake in two. On one side, Lake Sutherland was formed, and on the other, the long, elegantly curved body of water we now know as Lake Crescent was born, forever isolated and unique. This violent, geological birth is the secret behind the lake's distinct character. It is not just a pool of water, It is a scar left by ice and a story told in stone. The landslide that separated it from Lake Sutherland also cut it off from other water systems, creating a self-contained ecosystem. This isolation is a key reason why the lake has remained so pristine. It is a living museum, a perfectly preserved piece of the post-glacial world. When you stand on its shores, you are standing on the edge of a story that is thousands of years in the making. One of the first things that will strike you about Lake Crescent is its unbelievable shade of blue and turquoise. The answer lies in its exceptional clarity and low nitrogen levels, which prevents algae growth. This allows sunlight to penetrate deep, and the shorter blue wavelengths are scattered back to our eyes. So when you gaze out at Lake Crescent, you are witnessing a perfect combination of geology and physics. It is a reminder that the most beautiful things in nature often have the most fascinating stories behind them. Another of the lake's defining characteristics is its profound sense of calm. On many days, especially in the morning and evening, the surface of Lake Crescent is as smooth as a mirror. There are no large waves, no choppy waters, just a serene stillness that reflects the sky and the surrounding mountains with breathtaking precision. This tranquility is not just a matter of chance or good weather. It is a direct result of the lake's unique geography. The steep, towering mountains that cradle the lake, including Mount Storm King and Pyramid Mountain, act as a natural barrier against the wind. These mountains rise sharply from the water's edge, creating a sheltered environment. The winds that sweep across the Olympic Peninsula often pass high over the lake, leaving the water below relatively undisturbed. This creates perfect conditions for activities like kayaking and paddleboarding, allowing you to glide across a glassy surface with minimal effort. The experience is almost meditative. The only ripples are the ones created by your own paddle dipping into the water, and the only sounds are the whisper of the wind in the trees and the distant call of a bird. It is a powerful and humbling feeling to be out in the middle of such grandeur and silence. This stillness also makes Lake Crescent a photographer's dream. The perfect reflections are legendary. At sunrise, the water captures the soft pinks and oranges of the dawn sky, creating a painterly scene that is almost too perfect to be real. As the sun climbs higher, the deep greens of the evergreen forests are mirrored in the turquoise water. And at sunset, the fiery colors of the evening sky are duplicated on the lake's surface, creating a stunning, symmetrical image that is impossible to forget. This natural mirror effect doubles beauty of an already spectacular landscape, offering endless opportunities for breathtaking photos. The calmness of the lake contributes to its mysterious allure. There is a weight to the silence here, a sense of ancient history resting just beneath the surface. It feels like a place that is holding its breath, preserving its secrets in the still, deep water. This lack of disturbance has played a role in preserving things that have fallen into its depths, from ancient trees to more modern mysteries. The placid surface invites you to slow down, to be present, and to simply absorb the profound peace of the place. It is a rare and precious quality in our noisy world. Peering down into the crystal-clear water of Lake Crescent reveals one of its most enchanting secrets, a sunken forest. In the shallows along the shoreline, you can clearly see the ghostly shapes of ancient trees preserved beneath the surface. These are not recently fallen logs. Many are remnants of the very forest that stood here with the great landslide thousands of years ago. When the land gave way, it not only dammed the valley, but also submerged a portion of the old-growth forest. The cold, nutrient-poor water has acted as a perfect preservative, keeping these wooden giants from decaying over the centuries. Gliding over these submerged trees in a kayak or canoe is a surreal experience. It feels as though you are floating over a lost world, a silent underwater arboretum. The logs, some of them massive, lie crisscrossed on the lake bed, their forms softened by a thin layer of sediment, but still clearly recognizable. On a sunny day, beams of light penetrate the water and dance across the sunken wood, illuminating this eerie and beautiful scene. It is a tangible connection to the lake's dramatic past, a visible reminder of the powerful forces that shaped this landscape so long ago. This underwater forest is also home to a unique species of fish found nowhere else on Earth. The Beardsley and Crescent trout are two distinct types of rainbow trout that became trapped in the lake after the landslide. Over thousands of years of isolation, they evolved separately from their relatives in other rivers and lakes. They adapted to the unique conditions of Lake Crescent, becoming larger and developing different behaviors. These special fish are a living example of evolution in action, another secret that the lake has held for millennia, protected by its clear, cold depths. The sunken forest and its unique inhabitants add another layer to the mystique of Lake Crescent. It is a place where the past is not buried and forgotten, but is instead beautifully preserved and on full display just beneath the surface. It invites curiosity and wonder, encouraging you to look deeper, to question what else might lie in the silent blue abyss. Every paddle stroke over these submerged giants is a journey back in time, connecting you to the ancient story of the lake. It is a powerful reminder that this is not just a body of water, but a place of deep history and living secrets. Lake Crescent is stunning, but it's overshadowed by Washington's more famous natural wonders. When people think of the region, Mount Rainier and the wild Pacific coast usually come to mind first. Olympic National Park itself is packed with showstoppers: rainforests, alpine ridges, and rugged beaches. These headline attractions often steal the spotlight, making Lake Crescent a hidden gem. Unlike Crater Lake or Lake Tahoe, which are the main draws of their areas, Lake Crescent shares the stage with many natural marvels. Crater Lake is the centerpiece of its own park. Lake Tahoe is a world-famous destination. Lake Crescent, meanwhile, is quietly tucked among Olympic's wonders. It doesn't demand attention. It rewards those who seek it out. Its relative obscurity isn't due to lack of beauty, but rather the abundance of competition. Travelers here are spoiled for choice, so the lake often flies under the radar. For many, that's exactly what makes it special. Its beauty is quieter, more intimate, a secret waiting to be discovered. Lake Crescent offers a sense of discovery that's rare among the nation's most famous landmarks. Lake Crescent's low profile is thanks in part to its devoted locals. Generations of Washingtonians have quietly cherished the lake, sharing it by word of mouth rather than flashy ads. There's a protective pride here. Locals know its magic lies in tranquility, not crowds. The National Park Service has helped preserve this peace, limiting development and keeping the experience intimate. Lodging is scarce, trails are modest, and the landscape remains largely untouched. This careful stewardship ensures the lake never feels overrun. The story of Lake Crescent is one of quiet preservation, not loud promotion. It's a secret kept out of love for the place, not selfishness. Visitors who seek genuine beauty and peace are welcomed, but there's no rush to make it the next big thing. This protective spirit is part of its charm. Discovering Lake Crescent feels like joining a special club. Here, you don't need fame to find magnificence. Beyond the lake, the forests hide their own wonders, like Merrimack Falls. The trailhead is near Storm King Ranger Station, making it an easy outing for all. The gentle path winds through ancient moss-draped trees and lush ferns. As you walk, the sound of falling water grows, building anticipation. A short climb brings you to the base of Merrimack Falls, a delicate ribbon plunging nearly 90 feet. Mist cools the air, and the scene feels almost magical. It's the perfect spot to pause and soak in the beauty. This hike is more than a walk. It's a journey through a timeless ecosystem. The contrast between Tranquil Lake and dynamic waterfall adds balance to your visit. Even in a place of grand vistas, hidden wonders await just a short walk away. For a different perspective, explore the Spruce Railroad Trail along the lake's northern shore. This path follows a former World War I railroad built to transport Sitka spruce for aircraft. The wide, mostly flat trail is perfect for walking or biking, with historic tunnels carved through rock. Emerging from the tunnels, you're greeted by stunning views of turquoise water. The Devil's Punch Bowl, a deep blue cove spanned by a picturesque bridge, is a highlight. On warm days, brave visitors even take a chilly plunge here. The bridge offers a perfect vantage point for photos and soaking in the lake's color. The trail lets you access the wilder, less developed northern shore. Peekaboo views through the forest open into sweeping panoramas. It's a journey that blends natural beauty, exercise, and local history. The Spruce Railroad Trail reveals a side of Lake Crescent many never see. For photographers, Lake Crescent offers endless inspiration. The pristine water, dramatic mountains, and moody Pacific Northwest light create a constantly changing canvas. Capture classic landscape shots from the Lake Crescent Lodge dock. In the early morning, the water mirrors the sunrise on Mount Storm King. Shoot midday to capture the lake's vibrant turquoise color. Use a polarizing filter to cut glare, deepen colors, and reveal the sunken forest. Hike Mount Storm King for spectacular views of the lake's crescent shape. Don't forget the smaller details, like moss, ferns, and colorful stones. Even on foggy days, the moody atmosphere creates compelling images. Lake Crescent rewards patience, offering a masterpiece in every direction. When staying at Lake Crescent, the historic Lake Crescent Lodge stands above all others. Built in 1915, this beautiful lodge sits gracefully on the southern shore. Staying here is a chance to immerse yourself in the timeless charm and rustic elegance of a bygone era. The main lobby, with its massive stone fireplace, is the heart of the lodge. For a bit more privacy, the Singer Tavern cottages, or the Roosevelt fireplace cabins, offer a more secluded experience. One of the great joys of staying at the lodge is the boat rentals, just steps from your room. In the evening, the lodge's dining room serves delicious meals with stunning views of the sunset over the water. Booking a stay at the Lake Crescent Lodge requires planning. Reservations fill up months in advance. A stay is about connecting with the history and the very soul of this magnificent place. Getting to Lake Crescent, located on the remote Olympic Peninsula, is an adventure. For most travelers, the starting point will be Seattle. The most iconic route involves taking a Washington State ferry from Seattle. This offers stunning views of the city skyline and Mount Rainier. Once you disembark the ferry, the drive continues west, eventually connecting with Highway 101, your main artery for exploring the Olympic Peninsula. The moment you first catch a glimpse of the lake's brilliant blue water through the trees is a breathtaking reveal. Alternatively, you can drive south from Seattle and then loop up north around the Puget Sound. For those traveling from further away, the closest major airport is Seattle-Tacoma International Airport. From there, you can rent a car and begin your adventure. It is essential to have your own vehicle. The journey to Lake Crescent is the first chapter of your story in this hidden corner of the world. Hurricane Ridge provides a breathtaking view. It takes you from the valleys to the heights of the alpine world. To get there, you will drive through Port Angeles and begin the ascent up the winding Hurricane Ridge Road. This drive is one of the most scenic in any national park. When you arrive at the visitor center, you will step out of your car and into a different world. Before you lies a stunning panorama of the Olympic mountain range. It is a view that truly takes your breath away and puts the entire peninsula into perspective. These trails offer a gentle way to feel completely immersed in the high alpine environment. It is an experience of profound scale and beauty. A trip to the Olympic Peninsula is simply not complete without experiencing the view from the top. The wildness surrounding Lake Crescent extends deep into the very fabric of the forest itself. The Olympic Peninsula is world famous for its temperate rainforests. While the Hoh rainforest is the most famous, the forests around the lake and in the nearby Sol Duc and Elwha valleys are part of this same magnificent ecosystem. This incredible density of life is fueled by the immense rainfall the peninsula receives each year. Beyond the developed pools at Sol Duc, for the truly adventurous, there lies the Olympic Hot Springs. Located in the Elwha Valley, these springs are a more primitive and natural experience. The reward is a series of rustic, rock-walled pools filled with naturally hot, milky blue mineral water. It is a reminder that just beyond the placid beauty of Lake Crescent lies a landscape that is profoundly wild, ancient, and alive. Planning a trip to Lake Crescent means experiencing the Pacific Northwest seasons. Each season offers a unique version of the lake. Summer is popular for swimming and kayaking. Spring brings vibrant green forests and powerful waterfalls. Autumn offers quiet, peaceful atmosphere and fiery fall foliage. Winter brings solitude with snow-dusted peaks. The lake takes on a dramatic character, offering peace and quiet. A trip to a place as pristine as Lake Crescent comes with a responsibility to keep it that way. The magic of this place lies in its wildness and its clean, clear water. The most important thing any traveler can do is to practice leave no trace principles. This means packing out everything you pack in. Stay on designated trails to protect the fragile plant life. Packing for the Olympic Peninsula requires layers. The weather here is famously changeable. Be sure to bring a waterproof rain jacket and sturdy walking shoes. It is incredibly important not to introduce any pollutants into the water, including soaps, lotions, and even food waste. These small, conscious actions by every visitor add up to a huge collective effort that protects the very essence of what makes Lake Crescent so special. Finally, come with a spirit of patience and wonder. Lake Crescent is not a place to be rushed. By traveling with care, you will not just see Lake Crescent, you will truly feel it.